Fight tonight.
All right, what is going on, trading world? Finally, the strategy video is out. As you can see from the YouTube timeline, this is a long video. That's because in this video, I'm going to be basically dropping my strategy, a skeleton version of the strategy. This strategy version is going to be enough for the seasoned trader or somebody who knows how to trade, to a certain degree to be able to take this strategy to the charts and just start murdering it, okay? So please watch the whole duration of the video because I'm going to be dropping key elements in each chapter, things that you're going to need to know. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you how you can backtest this strategy, okay? Now, for the people that want to take a deeper dive and want to learn this strategy to a next level, know about all my confluences, what I use, how I trade these pairs, what confluences I use, some of the lower time frames, higher time frames, market structure. Like, if they want to know the whole strategy, man, something that I've worked so hard for putting this together. I've put together a mini course for the strategy. It's going to be in the link in the description below on my website. It's not that expensive. This is for people who want to really take this to the next level, okay? But I promised that I would be giving this strategy kind of for free. So this is going to be enough information for you to take away. Okay, this is going to be enough information for you to take away and actually use the strategy. But if you really want to take things to the next level, and kind of trade the way I do, you're going to want to get the course. Because listen, in this YouTube video, I cannot break everything down. It would take me 6 to 7 hours. That's pretty much how long the course is for me to break every single section of it out, like slice it all out. But I'm going to try my best to give, enough information on this video. And that's why this video has been delayed a little bit because I had to shoot it about 2-3 times, all right? So just bear with me, stick with the video. I can definitely tell you, you are not going to find this kind of information probably on the internet. I mean, I looked for this information for a long time. I wasn't able to find a strategy like this. Maybe you will be able to find it online. I don't know. I don't care, okay? All right. And also, I understand when you guys hear the word course, you're like, oh my God, this guy's trying to sell us a course, all right? Here we go again, because everybody's trying to sell you a course, all right? I'm going to keep it very transparent with you guys, okay? It took me 2.5 years of extreme struggling, all right? When I say extreme struggling, I mean like studying 12 hours a day, going into depression, some serious shit, all right? It took me a long time to get this information, a lot of lost money. I spent over $5,000-$6,000 in courses. I've probably lost like $20,000-$30,000. I've made way more than that now. It took me a long time to get this information, put it together, find it, make it my own, refine it. It took me 3 weeks of 12-hour days to create this course in about 6 to 7 hours of content, video format, and PDFs. It's very systematical in how you're going to be taking entries. You literally are going to have a PDF in front of you that you can follow. And I don't understand. I don't understand if I can do it. I don't understand why you won't be able to do it, okay? And let's get another thing cleared up, all right? Let's get another thing cleared up. I'm not in the business of selling courses, okay? A $200 course 4 or 5 times a month for me, I can make more than that in one trade, all right? I don't really need this course money, unlike some other YouTubers, who that are in the business of selling courses. I'm in the business of trading. I make my money from trading, okay? And also, I don't really need to prove myself to nobody. You saw my FTMO interview. They don't just go around interviewing anybody. If you haven't already watched the first video on my channel, man, I go into my FTMO portal and I show you 6 to 7 months of withdrawals that I've been making every single month from FTMO. That's FTMO alone, okay? And I've literally been just whooping the signals group for about 3 weeks straight. So again, let's not waste any more time, man. Let's just jump straight into the computer and we're gonna get into this strategy. So let's go. All right, welcome everyone to the strategy video. I've got some stuff written out. Some of the stuff I'm just gonna go off of, what's already in my head because I just made the course, in the last 3 weeks. So I've got it pretty memorized. Now, before we start, actually going into the strategy, 2 things. Number 1, I'm gonna break the YouTube video up into 3 chapters. So you'll probably see like dividers in the YouTube timeline thing. And it's gonna go market direction, supply and demand zones, and price action entries. Okay, this is the steps that we follow or I follow to get these trades. Okay, This is how I trade it. It has to be gone. It has to go step by step. Okay. Number 2, disclaimer. I know a lot of people are going to be in this comment section going, oh, you know, that's smart money concepts, or that's called the order block. Listen, I don't care what you call it. All right. You can call it Mars or Jupiter, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is what I refer to them as. This is how I trade it. This is my strategy. You know, if you want to absorb this information in a positive light, please do that. If you don't, you know, whatever, I don't care. And so we're just going to get right into it. Okay. So this strategy, the first thing that we do when we, and I'm all price action. Okay. I don't have any indicators on my chart whatsoever. None. Sometimes I would throw on a 50, or if I'm trading crypto or something, you know, I'll have the 13 EMA, things like that. But this is completely naked chart trading. Okay. So for this skeleton version of the strategy, I'm going to just break up these 3 things. All right. Grab a notebook. Grab a notebook or open up your laptops and open up like a Word document or something and write some of this stuff down. Or if you have to come back to the video, you can do that. But for the people that are buying the course, I'm going to have PDFs. And here I'm giving you guys like 3 little sections. In the course, we have 6 sections, including how to get funded, how to, you know, actually apply this strategy with a certain risk management parameters to get funded, stay funded, and get withdrawals. All right. So the first thing, okay, and some of the stuff I can't really cover in this video, but you know, I'm assuming a lot of you guys already know this, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's just get rolling, because this is going to end up becoming a really long video and I'm going to end up ranting. So first step number 1, if you want to write this down, when I come to the chart first thing in the morning, or first thing on a Monday morning, and I go to my first pair. And the good thing about this strategy is very versatile. You can really trade a lot of pairs instead of having to focus on one. I started off with trading 1 or 2 this summer, and I moved into like more pairs and things like that. The first thing you need to find out with this strategy is what is the direction of the market. Okay, where are we headed? Are we going up or are we going down? For this, you need to know, number 1, how trending markets work, and number 2, how market structure works. I'm going to quickly go into market structure really lightly, but okay, so the first thing you need to do is find out the direction of the market, because we need to know today on a Monday or a Tuesday, you know, tomorrow, am I going to be looking for sales? Am I going to be looking for buys? What am I going to be doing? We need to come to that bias. I need to know that, all right? So in this situation, we can see that, you know, GJ is pushing down, and I've been selling this all the way down pretty much right after, I think, here. And we had a really amazing trade, I think, last Friday, in the signals group, like 105 pips, 4 or 5%, something crazy. Okay. So how do I get the market direction? For this strategy, the highest time frame you really need to look at is the daily. Okay. For what I'm teaching you in this YouTube video, just stick to the 4-hour. You don't even need to go into the whole complex situation. Go to the 4-hour and just see the highs and lows and see what's happening. Okay. From here, you can see that we were in a push up, and here we can see we're in a push down. Okay. Rule number 1 of the strategy is we keep going with the trend no matter what until the trend has fully reversed on the 4-hour time frame. Even then, I'm still going to try to follow the overall trend. So as you can see, the overall trend in GJ here is bearish, right? Bearish. And I'm going to quickly just break down market structure for people that don't really have a good idea about that. So the first thing you're going to do on your chart is find direction. Okay, if we come here, let's say if we came here on a Monday, what I would see here is like, okay, we pushed all the way up on the 4-hour, and look what just happened here. For the people that don't know what market structure is, this is a high, this is a lower low, and this is like a lower high. And we broke market structure right here. And this is kind of the way that I explain it in the course as well. Right there, that structure being broken by this impulsive leg to the downside. And you can see it on the line chart. Again, this is something I go more in detail in the course, but you can see in the line chart, you know, this impulsive leg broke and took out all of this market structure right here. All of this is all structure. This impulsive leg took all of that out. Okay, so now I had a good idea when I started, you know, selling GJ about last week or early last week, whenever it was, in this area somewhere, that we were starting a short trend. Okay. So the first step is finding direction of the market. If you're good at finding direction of the market, you're going to do very good with the strategy. All right. But a quick thing to write down of how I'm teaching in this strategy is go to the 4 hour, look at market structure. All right. Look at market structure and see if it's being broken. Here we can see it's being broken to the downside. So we know we want to continue looking for sells. Okay. Sorry. So the first thing is finding market direction. Which direction is this market gonna keep going in or potentially going? If you came back later to the charts, you could see that we continue to break market structure. This is structure being broken again, right there. Okay, all of this got taken out by this impulsive leg. This structure got taken out by this impulsive leg. I'm gonna keep shorting this thing until it completely takes me out. Okay, until I get a stop loss hit on one trade and then it reverses fully on the 4 hour. Okay, we keep going with the trend. We're not trying to call tops or bottoms. If it's going down, we're going down with it. That's it. So, step number 1, find market direction. Okay, need to know what we're going to be doing. Are we going to be buying or selling? That is the only time that I really look at the 4 hour chart. Sometimes I'll look at it again, but the only time I'm looking at the 4 hour chart is when I need to know if are we buying or are we selling today. And for that you need to understand market structure, you need to understand trends. Basically this I break down completely in the course on how to find trends and market structure and things like that. But I'm assuming a lot of you guys watching this video probably know that. You should at least know that. So once we've come to the conclusion that we're looking for sells on this pair today, or we're looking for buys on this pair today, the next thing that we're going to be moving on to, is supply and demand zones. That's all I trade. Supply and demand zones. Okay, supply and demand. That's it. And price action. So step number 1, find your direction. Step number 2, draw your supply and demand. Price number 3, enter off of my price action criteria. I have certain criteria that needs to be met before I can enter the trade. This way, this strategy is very systematical. Certain things have to happen for me to take a trade. And then at that point, it's just a probabilities game. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen in the Forex markets, okay? It's all a game of probabilities. And with this strategy, man, I've had a really good probability of winning most of my trades. For the people that have been in the signals chat for the last 4 weeks, like who started with me when I first started the group, I've been whooping that channel straight. We had a week where we smashed 22%, 10%, 8%, 6% in one trade, 5% like 3 times in a row. So the probabilities of this strategy are good if you can perfect it, if you can work at it, and if you can get good at it. All right. So step number 2 is finding your supply and demand zones. All right. This is a part you're gonna have to come back to and watch over and over again. I do a whole 6 video phase on this in the course, because without this strategy is not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you if you can't get this part right. What is supply and demand? Okay, let's actually write that. Let's write that down. What is supply and demand? So demand is wherever there was heavy buying. Okay, so a heavy impulse to the upside, a bullish candle, strong bullish candle, breaking structure. You always want your supply and demand zones to break some sort of structure. Okay, that's what demand is. Supply is heavy. Supply is heavy selling. Anywhere where heavy selling happens in a very impulsive way. This is banks. The algorithm, big players, where there's either a huge spike in buying or selling. So let's take a look at some examples here, okay? Can you guys see where there's impulsive legs being created? All right. Look at this one here first. Boom. This leg broke all of the market structure to the left. Where did it start? Right here. This leg was very strong impulse to the downside. It didn't really break too much market structure, but if you go to the 1 hour, I'm sure you can see that it was broken. You know, this would be it. Another one, okay? These are impulsive supply zones on the 4 hour. So for the sake of the video, what we're going to do is we're going to first look at supply zones and then we'll go to demand. And I'll be honest with you guys, for some weird reason, this strategy works better with selling for me. I don't know why. It's so weird. Maybe I just don't have that visual eye for going long or buying. But it's just, man, any sells I've been entering, I've just been murdering for the last few months. Just straight, the last month has been straight murder. Almost every trade I take has just been killed. So once you have determined your direction, we're going to come to the hourly chart. This is where 99% of your strategy is going to be executed, is the hourly chart. You can come to the hourly chart and, you know, try to get a better understanding of, all right, you know, what is going on with market structure. You can see direction is being pushed to the downside. It's very clear on, sometimes it's very good to turn on the line chart. It's very clear to see, okay? GJ, man, some amazing trades on GJ. I can't even remember the date. I think it was 2 Fridays ago when we did that 4% trade. I had one before that, a couple of days before that. Just a lot of money from this, okay? This is what I love to see. How are we going to draw out our supply and demand zones? I'm sure some of you guys already know this. You know, maybe some of you smart money traders or other people who already trade supply and demand. I don't know, right? This is how I draw it. This is how I draw it, all right? I come and I have to look at, where did we break market structure? Like, what was the leg that really did in all of the structure to the left-hand side, all right? This seems to be a very good supply area because look at the impulsive selling that happened. Very strong selling here. Impulsive, very strong. And, you know, we did actually break market structure, even on the hourly chart. You can see it on the line chart. So my first example of a zone to show you guys is I would draw this out right here. I would draw that out. If I didn't know what was going to happen moving forward, I would do this. If we let the next candle go, I think so here we break market structure. Okay, we take out the low. So this is what created, this is just an example to show you guys how. Okay, how. This was a strong enough impulse to break market structure, and it was enough strength for me to label this as a supply zone. So if price comes back into it, I'm going to be looking for sells. Okay, this is just an example to show you guys how we draw these zones. Sometimes, and typically what happens is when the real push starts, price does not get a chance to actually come all the way up in there. It goes to its, what I call them your first zone and your secondary zone. All right, that's what I refer to them as. And I take these trades off the 15-minute time frame. So, but for the sake of this strategy on YouTube, I'm going to show you guys on the hourly, a bit more easier to understand in this short span of time. A bit easier to practice on the back testing, but in the full course, you know, I drop it down to the 5-minute to how to really get crazy with it. But I remember this was the first trade I actually took. If you go into the 15-minute time frame, you would see that this is an impulsive leg that broke structure. Okay, you can see, look, we took out all of this market structure to the left-hand side. So for me, this was a zone. This was a supply zone. We came in, I took this trade, bam, smashed it, okay? What was another, this is another supply area. Look at this leg. Look at the strength of it. It took out this structure, okay? I'm pretty sure I had this one drawn out on my 15-minute time frame. Rejection candle. I think this is the trade that we took. No, this was the trade we took on Friday at the signals chat. Again, your supply zone is being drawn from the leg that is breaking structure. Let me show you an example of zone 1 and zone 2. When you're in a situation like this and you don't know where to draw it, again, you guys are gonna have to come back to this video and watch it over and over again, man. Watch it over again, or you know, invest in yourself and try to buy the course. But I'm gonna try to cover at least as much as I can for the people that wanna, you know, understand this for free. This leg took out market structure, and then we had this leg which really just destroyed just pushed down like crazy. So I would draw, and what I do is I draw it from, in a bearish scenario, I take the one bullish candle before, and I like to keep my zones about this size on the hourly. Okay, this is what I would do. We're pushing down. Each leg that breaks structure like this, and there's heavy selling. Where did the selling start? From here. So this is the zone that I'm drawing out. Okay, now price doesn't always come back to your zone. Price doesn't always come back to your zone, unfortunately. So you're always going to have a secondary zone, because look what happened here. Price paused. There was some buying going on, and then boom, it got slammed. It got slammed. So you have to be aware of other things like, gaps in the market, things like that. So I had my secondary zone drawn. And I remember this was definitely, I'm pretty sure this was the Friday. Yep, this was the Friday for sure. October 29th. Let's double check that. I'm almost 100% certain. Yeah, I don't even need to look at this. This was the Friday. Yeah, this is the trade I took. I have the secondary zone drawn out because anytime there's at least 1 or 2 hourly candles in between, like a leg. So if there's one strong push like this, if this was all red candles, you would keep this as your first supply zone. If there's a break in the middle, and then we have another strong impulse leg, you can draw one zone here. Okay, and if price pushes right through it, guess what? You don't have to worry about it, because my entry criteria will not let you enter the trade unless it meets the entry. So a lot of times when I have a secondary zone and we're not going to go down from there, I can't enter because my entry criteria doesn't meet. So I don't lose the trade. It'll just come back up here and I'll enter. But here it did meet my entry criteria, all right? And we're going to go over the entry criteria in the third part of the video, okay? Damn, I forgot myself how to break this video up. But yeah, so market direction we already went into. We're in supply and demand, all right? Okay, this was a trade. This was the trade on the Friday. Freaking amazing, man. I took it off literally. I took this trade on the 15-minute time frame. Supply zone was drawn right here. I was on the 15-minute time frame right here. My entry criteria met, and I think it looked something like, I don't know. I'll have to go back and check, but it was something like this. It was like 105 pips, I remember. Huge trade that day. So, moving forward, that's how you draw your supply zones, okay? You get the market direction on the 4 hour, you come down to your 1 hour, and you say, where was there an impulse that started the selling? So your next zone would be here. Look at that selling, okay? But again, here's another example of, I think I missed this trade though. Impulse leg, very strong to the downside. You already draw your first zone. We pause, okay? We pause and chop it up in this area, and then boom, we smash all of this market structure. So you have to draw a leg here. And look at that, man. Just insane. I used to trade a lot of fibs. I was big into fibs. I'm going to do a lot of videos on this channel about fibs, and they work great. And I have a really good fib strategy as well. But man, and support and resistance, if you can do your thing with it. I have a really good friend, TJ, who kills support and resistance. But for me, man, there's nothing more powerful than supply and demand. This shit is crazy. This literally changed my life this year. This allowed me to quit my job. Okay, this allowed me to make over 6 figures without even having my own money. It's all from funding companies. It's been a crazy year, man. I'm very thankful. And that's why I want to do this kind of like, I don't want to sound weird, but that's why I want to give away some stuff on my channel, man, like strategies, motivation, whatever, psychology videos, because I want to help other people that are really going through it. I really went through it, man. I really went through it, but I wanted this shit bad enough. There was no other way for me. I had to make this shit work. And I think if you're watching this video, man, and you want this to work, like this is what you want to do. You don't want to work I don't don't want to start swearing, but you know, if you don't want to work no fucking job or whatever, you know, you hate your job. I worked at a Fortune 500 company, man. I was comfortable, but I was comfortable but uncomfortable at the same time. And so I had to make it work. This had to happen. I left myself no other choice. So yeah, man, that's how you draw your supply and demand. All right, this is how you draw your supply and demand. We find an area that market breaks structure. Okay, like right here, this is all structure. This is structure. This is structure. This is structure. This impulsive leg broke all this structure. So we can refine our zones on the 15-minute. And I show you in the course how to refine your zones. And how to do this on the 15-minute. But if you just stick to the hourly, man, you're going to have really good success. You're going to have real good success with this stuff. So this is like, this is what it would look like. So your zone starts from where the impulse started. And to draw the zone, you can go back one bullish candle. One or two bullish candles previously here. And if you go on the 15-minute, it would look something like this. Probably something like this. You can even draw it on the 1 hour if you want. If you want to just a little bit easier to remember, stick to the one bullish candle before on a bearish scenario. It would look like this. Perfect. Just perfect. You know what I mean? So that's how you draw your supply zones. I really hope people understand this video, because you know it makes sense in my head, but for somebody new it may not make sense. I really hope people are going to be able to understand it. If you have to come back and watch the video, watch it over again. And you know, if you want to invest in yourself and actually take this shit to the next level, you know, I'm like the price of the course is the price of a college textbook. All right. And this shit literally changed my life. I've literally proven it on YouTube. That's why I did it. That's why I smashed the FTMO challenge in one day. Made that first video where I show all my withdrawals, all that shit. I didn't have to do any of that, okay? So that was a quick example of drawing. That was a quick example of drawing your supply zones, and we kind of went over what is, you know, we went over what is supply and demand. Demand is anywhere where there's, you know, heavy buying going on, and right now we just went over the example of supply is wherever there's impulsive, heavy selling that takes place. Preferably, you want your supply zone to be where the leg breaks structure, and demand where demand breaks, you know, structure to the upside. So we're gonna quickly jump into NAS 100 to look at demand zones, which is to the upside where buying happens. And this strategy works really well on indices, man. Works really well on indices. I know some people murdering, you know, US 30, NAS 100. You know, we have some really good friends. You guys know who you are on WhatsApp, that are murdering NAS, US 30, destroying. So let's just jump over here and we're gonna look at our demand zones. Okay, demand. How can we draw demand? Obviously, you know, you come to your 4 hour. Okay, we're pushing up. We are pushing up. Market structure was broken right here. And, you know, we're pushing up. So all you got to do is come to your hourly chart. That's it. And because NAS kind of pushes up really strongly, it can be difficult to draw out your zones. I might show you guys AUD, USD, or some, one of the Forex pairs. But for example, okay, this is structure. This is structure. Okay. This impulse that started basically, you could say here or here, this leg here took out this structure. So if you just came to the charts today and this is what was going on, you would draw your zone like that. You would refine it a little bit on the 15-minute, you know, depending which area you take, but it would look something like this. Okay, and then we'll go into the entry criteria after on how you would enter this. And then I'm gonna mention this now, and I kind of mentioned it in the supply video. Anytime there is a strong trend like this, even on the 1 hour, like we're just pushing up or down, even if there's one or two in the bullish scenario, if there's one or two bearish candles, you can draw another you can draw another zone, okay? Because look, we pushed up, we paused here for a little second, and then this leg here broke this and this structure. We came up right here, okay, and then we paused, and then we broke. So this, you can literally take the one candle before, which is the one bearish candle before, and you can draw it out like that, okay? And you have another zone. Then we have market structure here. Okay, we have market structure here. And what was the leg that took it out? This leg right here. This leg broke all of this market structure to the left. So where can you draw your zone? Pick the one bearish candle before. Boom. Okay. These are examples of demand zones where heavy buying started from, where the leg started from. And if we paused on the way up, if we pause for one or two candles and we broke market structure to the left hand side, we can draw another zone. Now always remember, the zone below will always be the better zone, okay? In this situation, if we didn't come, right here, if in this situation price did not, actually let me just go back a little bit more. If we were like this, okay, in this situation, price was pushing up, you had one zone drawn and you had your second zone drawn because this leg broke structure, but you don't know where price is going to come to next. You don't know if it's going to stop here. You will know from my entry current when I show you how to enter, but sometimes it can get tricky, right? This zone will always be the better zone to take, but if price does come here and gives you the entry, take it, because we might not come back here. So let's do a little recap of what we learned so far, and then we'll move on to the rest of the video, to the entry criteria, and then I'll give you guys a little example of some back testing and some more information about the course. Okay, I do apologize if somebody has not understood something so far. I'm trying my best to compress everything into this video. What I'm trying to teach you in 45 minutes or 30 minutes, I have this laid out in 6 hours of content that took me 3 weeks to make, all in like structural step-by-step guides, so you can actually learn properly in the right method, okay? But for the sake of this video, we have to do it like this. So we learned that we have to first find market direction on the 4-hour time frame. Otherwise, this strategy is no good. We need to know what is going on. We are putting structure and moving to the upside. So I know I'm looking for buys, only looking for buys. Here I'm looking for sells, because as you can see, with the market structure has changed. It's breaking to the downside. This was all to the upside. So that's number one, right? Number two, I showed you guys how to draw your supply and demand zones. This is something if you bought the course, don't even worry about this, okay? You're going to learn in much more detail how to refine it on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, and how to do it sometimes on the 4 hour as well, and how to take profit. All that's going to be covered. But for somebody, who's just going to be learning through this video, you're going to need to learn, you're going to need to go back and practice, refine. You're going to need to practice your zone, like how you drew your zones, right? Here goes another zone that we didn't draw out, because this leg broke this market structure, okay? And on the way back down, we're probably going to bounce off each one of these zones. But I just removed them. And I just keep drawing fresh ones as we go along. Okay. Anytime we pause, we can draw another zone. So I really hope people understood that, man. I don't know if I could draw it, like if I could draw it out for you guys. Like in a bullish scenario, it would be like, okay, it would be like something like this. So, it's like market structure is here. This is all structure. And then boom, we have one impulsive leg that like breaks that structure on the hourly. And we're already in an uptrend. So this is like a good way of showing people, we're putting in little structure, little zones, and then boom, we smash that with one leg in an uptrend. Then we just want price to come back into this zone. We want price to come back into the zone that we've drawn, where where the push started. Okay, we want price to come back into this area here, and then we take our entry criteria to go long. Right? This is like how the demand scenario would look like. We know the direction. We know the market structure was broken. We know we have a correct zone. What's the third thing that we need to do? The third thing, man, my favorite. This is my fucking favorite thing, because I've just been murdering it with this. With this. This is how I passed the FTMO challenge in one day. Okay, in roughly 25 hours. It's on my YouTube channel. You can click the link and see it. I'll probably throw it up here somewhere. How did I do that? Right? How did I get 10% in one day? All I did was literally just go on every pair. I just started drawing out my zones. Every time we came to the zone and I got my candlestick entries, I just started smashing them out, man. I started smashing them out, and I was able to do some scale-ins. You know, like I'll show you guys an example of a scale-in trade, but you can basically do this on the 5-minute as well. And this is something I show in my course, how you can actually scale in. So typically when you guys are going to take a trade with this strategy, you'll be looking at like getting, you know, like if you get a 1 to 3, that's good. The good thing about this strategy is, man, it allows really high risk to reward trades, really high. 1 to 3 should not even be an issue. Like 1 to 3s, we hit them. Man, I don't want to jinx myself and, you know, start losing in the signals group, but 1 to 3s have been kind of easy lately. We've been trying to get like 1 to 7, 1 to 8, 1 to 6. They're very hard to do, but this strategy does allow you to get to 1 to 3s easy. For all the fake fucking people on Instagram who show 1 to 89 and 1 to 90, that's all bullshit, man. Don't fall for that shit. Come on. That's bullshit. Like, if they're really doing that every single day or every other day, like there'd be 10 Lambos in their Instagram feed. Come on. Okay. But yeah, this risk to reward with this strategy, very good. Okay, very good. So we're gonna move into the third part of this strategy, which is entries. Okay, entry criteria. What is the entry criteria? How can I enter the trade? How could we have entered these trades on GJ, right? Like for GJ, you know, we went over the examples. Okay, we have impulsive legs. We have impulsive legs that, you know, that broke structure, and we drew them all correctly. And I'll go over this example right here for 100% for you guys of how you could have entered this trade and how the candlestick entries allow you to enter these scenarios. The first thing you need to do is learn how to get correct market direction. Second thing, you need to learn how to draw your supply and demand zones correctly. Okay, over the course of time, your eyes are going to start seeing them very easily. You're going to know without even looking where that zone is. Sometimes I don't even need to be on the computer anymore. I can do it on my phone sometimes. And you just get better and better over time. And there's certain patterns that I also teach, you know, in my course. I'm not going to name them right now, but there's about 5 patterns that in conjunction with this strategy and the entry criteria, if you layer on those patterns, like your win rate should be just going up and up. Like you should be able to smash trades no problem. And this strategy allows you to take off all the bullshit off your chart, all the indicators, all that extra crap. Like you just need to forget. I had to forget all the shit I ever learned before. I had to forget all of that and just stick to market structure and price action. And that's all you need. That's all you need, man. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. So what is the criteria for entering these trades? Okay, entering is, for the sake of this video, I'm only going to talk about the 1 hour chart. Okay, in the course, we go into the 15-minute, 5-minute, 30-minute, 4 hour, how you can get entries on everything. But for this Video, let's just talk about the 1 hour, okay? Entry, how to enter, okay? Once you have your zone, once you have your zones, how do you enter? Number one, okay, and I call this the 1, 2, 3 method. Number one, wait for a 1 hour candle to push into your zone, okay? Number one. Number two, let a 1 hour candle print. Let a 1 hour candle print, preferably a 1 hour, some kind of 1 hour rejection candle. Some kind of width, some kind of wick, okay? Again, I'm just chopping this up like horribly, but in the course, you know, we break the whole anatomy of this down. And number three is, so the first one is wait for a 1 hour candle to push right into your zone. Number two, let a 1 hour candle print in that zone. Typically, it should be a rejection candle with a wick on the top or the wick on the bottom. You're still gonna keep waiting, okay? You might miss a lot of trades because this is the longer way of doing it. Okay, the 1 hour is kind of the longer way of doing it. The way I show it in the course with a 15-minute, we can get much better risk to rewards. Number three, let this candle break the low. So let this candle break the low of the previous 1H candle in a bearish case, okay, and vice versa on the bullish case. So let me just explain that if somebody didn't really understand that out really well. Let's go with the theme, man. Let's go with the purple theme. All right, actually that's fucking horrible. You can't even see that. Yeah, let's just leave it in a color we can see. Okay, you guys might want to write this down, maybe come back to it later, take a screenshot, whatever. Once you've done your market direction, you know, you've done your zoning, go back to the part where I talk about zones. Watch each chapter again and then go practice it. Once you're good at drawing out your zones, you know, you get the leg that breaks structure, you know, you have the bearish or bullish candle from before they draw it out with, you know, like a zone like this. Let's just to refresh memory, okay? Leg break structure. Where did the impulse start? Over here. We take the one bullish candle before to draw the zone out. We wait for price to come back in here, okay? And we wait for the 1 hour candle to push into the zone, okay? It pushes into the zone. Then we let a 1 hour candle print in our zone, okay? Into the zone. 1 hour candle prints. I love it when it's a rejection candle because then you know you have something to work with. Then you let the next 1 hour candle break the low of that previous candle, of this candle, number two, 1, 2, 3 method. And then you enter as soon as it breaks the low of that candle. Now, a keynote to take away. Let's just put here, key takeaway. I don't know if I'm spelling that correct. If you're unsure, okay, if you're unsure of the trade, let another 1 hour candle print and wait for that break. Okay, so if you follow these steps, you let the 1 hour candle into the zone, you know, maybe you didn't really see a good enough rejection candle to make it convincing that this is going to push down or up. Let another candle print in that zone, because the third candle may just break the zone and then you don't enter and you don't take an L. Okay. And on the third candle, if you're still unsure, you're going to have to go back and test this. You're going to have to go back and forward test it. You're going to have to go in real life and forward test this. Put $100 in an account and, you know, play like dollar lot sizes. If you're still unsure, sometimes even I'm very unsure. So I'll wait for another candle to print and then I'll look at it. And if I'm still unsure, I'll wait for another candle to print. And when I'm satisfied, then I'll wait for the break of that candle. Okay. Sometimes you need to see a momentum break. Like you need to see it break the low of the last two. The more candles, the better. Okay. Typically, the 1, 2, 3 pattern works really well. It works really well, especially when we do the 3-pin. There's something I call the 3-pin formation, which I talk about in the course. But you know, it's something as simple as this. We'll come to this. This is the trade that I talked about for my signals. But here's an example. Okay, here's an example. Okay, here's step number 1. You wait for the candle to push into your zone. Awesome, it did that. You wait for one more candle to print. Awesome, you did that. It was a rejection candle. Great. Then you were waiting for this candle to break the low of this candle. It did that. And you could have entered this trade already. But if, like, you know, you were on the 15-minute chart and you didn't really see a nice enough break or a strong enough break, let this third candle print, okay? Because now look at this. Now you know when this candle prints that if we break the low of this one, we're definitely going to be going down now. Otherwise, we're just going to keep pushing up. Okay, now personally me, because I'm so good with my zones, I'd probably taken this already on the 15 minutes somewhere here. But let's say, you know, you caught it here. Always make sure your stop loss is a little bit above the previous wick. Just give yourself a little bit of room. Because we are on the 1 hour chart, we have a huge stop loss here. Typically, if I'm trading this the way I trade it and the way I teach it in the course, it looks something like this. Even tighter. And I know this one was much tighter. So 1, 2, 3, and you can enter. But if you didn't and you want to be more sure, you wait for this candle to print. Okay, you wait for this candle to print. Nothing broke the low of it. Next candle printed. Okay, next candle printed. Beautiful rejection. All right, now you got two options. You can take this trade on the break of this rejection candle, or what I like to do is I'll put a little horizontal ray at one of the last candles that made a low, and then I'll wait for that to get smashed. So that would be right here. You know, your stop loss can be typically somewhere up in here. And then you can take the trade all the way down. Okay, all the way down. Boom. Great risk to reward. Even in this 1 hour format that I'm showing you, 1 to 3 shouldn't be a problem. What I show you in the course, 1 to 5s shouldn't be a problem. This is the trade that we took. This was the trade that we took on Friday, October the 29th at 7:30 in the morning, man. I remember this trade because I made a lot of money on this trade. And a lot of people in the signals made a lot of money in this trade, man. We smashed the shit out of this. This was as simple as 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This wasn't actually as simple as 1, 2, 3. So what you had going on here this was even simpler. I mean, I'll show you how I took this on the 15-minute, but for the 1 hour examples or what we have written down, you wait for a candle to push into the zone. You wait for one candle to get printed as a rejection candle, and you take the trade on the break of the third candle, breaking the low. Your trade should have looked something like this. For this trade here, it should have looked something like this. Yeah, that was the trade. Wow, this was amazing. This is what your trade should have looked like. Boom. You don't even need 4%. You can like 3% is enough. Once you learn how to scale in on this, where you're supposed to make 3% with the scale-ins, you can make 6%, 5%, 7%. I smashed the whole challenge in one day. Just doing this, scaling in and just doing this. That's it. Okay. So that's how candlestick entries, that's basically how we enter. All right. That's how we enter these trades. This was, yeah, I remember this very well. This was on the 15-minute chart. And I knew my zone was drawn in correctly. This was my entry, I think. It was something like this. It was just insane. It was this, and I remember we finished like right at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I got out on a Friday. We smashed 105 pips. This was a trade. Yeah, you can go back into my signals chat and find this. I don't know, man. I hope you, and we're gonna do a little bit quick. I'm gonna show you guys how to back test this, but I hope you guys understood what I've been trying to say here. Like, I hope you guys understood, what I've been trying to say. Go back and watch this video again. Okay, go back and watch this video again. And if you really want a deep dive into this, like me chopping it up, every single part, step by step, guiding like every step of the way, get the course, man. It's the price of a college textbook. Like, come on. I didn't make it $500, $800, $900,000. I made it like $200 and change, so everybody can get it, because I want everybody to win, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be doing this YouTube video. Let's just go over it one more time, because I just want to really make sure people understand this. Okay, market direction. Find the direction of the market. Learn how to draw your supply and demand zones. Learn to do the price action entries. Okay, take a screenshot of this. 1, 2, 3. Wait for the 4th candle, the 5th candle. Wait for those breaks of those candles. Enter. Go back and back test this all weekend. All weekend. Go back to like January. Cut off the chart. Okay, this is how you go and back test this. This is how you go and back test this. Go on your daily chart somewhere and go into bar replay. Go to the 4 hour. Okay, go to the 4 hour and just see like what is going on. Okay, what is really happening? On the 4 hour, it looks like we're in an uptrend. Okay, because we took out all of this market structure here, so, and always be aware of zones above you. So even though I'm going to be looking for buys here, I would still have this zone drawn just in case. Okay, we have, and then we'll go to hourly. Obviously, you're going to go to your hourly chart. Okay, just start practicing drawing your zones. There's a zone. Okay, that's a zone. Price doesn't always come back to your zone. Big impulse to the upside. Okay. This little impulse broke structure. This could have been a zone. You could have gotten some nice trades from there. Again, I like to show examples of where we were in a downtrend, just because I don't know why, man, but this strategy works so good. This strategy fucking works so good for selling. Maybe it's just me, man. This is why I want to teach this to people. For the people that are going to be joining the course, we're going to be having in the start, we're going to do a Telegram, private Telegram, where everybody can share their trade ideas, and me and some of the other mentors are going to be, we're going to be correcting them, and hopefully, we can share trades between each other. I'm going to be posting pretty much all my trades in there. I can't share all my trades with the signals group. Like, the signals group was just there to like show people that this shit works. Okay, I'm not really giving signals because I love giving free signals and putting pressure on myself. I'm just doing it because I was really doing the signals group just to really push my psychology to the next level. Like, can I do this in front of 200 people? And I did it. So yeah, I mean, go back to your charts, go into bar replay, find the direction of the market, go into the hourly. Okay, go into the hourly. Preferably, I would just start with areas that are bearish. Look for the bearish scenarios, and then once you guys get better, you can go try doing the demand and the buying scenarios. Go to your 1 hour charts and just start drawing your zones. Okay, I draw them from my refined 15-minute, but you can draw this from the hourly. There's a zone. We paused right there. There's a zone. Okay. We paused right there. There's a zone. Okay. Yeah. We're already about 50 minutes into this video, so I gotta cut this off at some point. You're gonna have to go back and watch this again, okay? Quick example, one more time. Zone is drawn. We have price push in, okay? And we had price push in and already create a rejection candle. So we'll let one more candle print and we'll enter. And here we did face some drawdown, but that's okay. You're going to get drawdown. You're going to lose some trades too. But you know, go back in time and do this. Go back in time and do this. That's it, man. I hope everyone understood what I talked about. I really hope everybody understood what I talked about. This is going to be the only video I ever put up about this strategy, because everything that you need to know in a detailed explanation is in my course. All right. It's not rocket science. You know, in the last 2 years, I bought like 6 courses, like actually paid for them, and downloaded like 10, 12 other ones for free. But every course that I paid for didn't make me profitable, but it took me one step closer. Okay. And this is just such a powerful strategy on all time frames. You can do, and I show this in the course, you can do this on 4-hour time frames. There's a 4-hour zone. Look at that. And same price action entries. 1, 2, 3 method. Wait for other candles to print. Wait for the lows of them to be broken. And boom, you're in. In the course, if you want to know more about it, okay, for the course, I can quickly just go over the course outline. If you give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. Okay. If you want to know more about the course, man, we're going to wrap this video up right here. For the course outline, I do a whole phase 1. It's broken up into different phases. Phase 1 is market direction. Market direction, I do a full about 1 hour on market structure. We have supply and demand. We have demand part 2, supply part 2, how to enter. I show you how to enter on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 5-minute, how to take profit, a certain candlestick pattern, which I'm not going to mention here, how to practice on the 1 hour, extra confluences, where there's 6 videos on extra confluences. And the last video is how to get funded, step by step, with which kind of risk to use and which time frames to use, and how to go about the whole funding process so you can smash these prop firms, man. Stop losing these fucking challenges. Stop it. Nobody's got time for that, man. This year I have a couple 100,000 in funding. Next year I'm gonna go for $1 million, man. January 1st, I'm gonna buy all the challenges. And smash them all. Probably put it up on YouTube too. Next year I'm smashing them all. And things like this, you know, we took this AUD CHF trade in the signals. It was called in the signals, all right? Go back in my signals. You can see it. It was this trade right here. I had this zone drawn out, okay? From this zone, I had drawn this out. This is the trade that I called in the signals, man. We murdered this trade. All the way from up here to here. Okay, I had this is where my TP was. It hasn't been hit yet. But I got out. Now, I'm in this trade right now. With 9.5 lots on one account. All right. I don't know if this is going to be able to show it, but I'm in this trade right now on one of my accounts. And you're going to be like, well, why are you entering here? There's no zone. Well, there is. There's no zone even on the 15-minute. But I show you how you can scale in for entries using the 5-minute time frame, the 10-minute time frame. I show that in my course, because if you're taking a trade like this through what I've taught you on YouTube for free, okay, you got a 1 to 3. A lot of the students are going to be doing things like this, including me. So where you were gonna get like a 1 to, let's say you were gonna get a 1 to 3, now you're gonna get a 1 to 7, 1 to 6. Finish the challenge in 1 day. Like, if I can do it, trust me, the people that I'm mentoring, they're gonna be crushing it. So, anyways, man, thank you for joining me today. I hope I was able to give good information that somebody, even if there's 1 or 2 people that learn something from this, man, and they go on to crush it, I think I've done my job. That's all I wanted to do. You know, for the people that weren't able to understand it, maybe you need to go and understand other things first and then come back to this. And for the people that really want to take a deeper dive and want to skip, learning the learning curve and having to find things yourself and wasting money, just buy the course. Trust me, man. I wouldn't be selling a course if I didn't I don't need to sell a course. All right. All of my stuff is on YouTube. I've proven myself. I don't need to do it again. And that's it, man. If you want to buy the course, you can kill it. If you want to learn, just go back and watch this video again and you should be killing it. So I hope I was able to explain this well. Thank you and have a good day.